Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your bonus reading. We are going to jump right in here, Cancer. You start with the bouquet and the coffin. This is from the Gilded Lenormand, and so the bouquet and the coffin together can definitely represent some sort of like social connection loss, or I don't know, those are the words that are popping into my head. I feel like you're just changing your social connections. We'll see what comes up in this reading in just a second. Obviously, this position here, that's going to be right here, represents your closest relationships, meaning all relationships in your life, including love and also not love. We're talking about people. Sorry, I went in reverse here, so we'll just roll with it. But this position right here, and what do you know, you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles could represent like a new person or new people entering into your life, which makes sense with this combination right here. Because again, that combination, the bouquet and the coffin, could represent like some sort of social change, meaning, the people in your life are changing or the type of people that you're attracting are changing. You have the Two of Wands. This is how you are entering into the reading. I kind of get this, I don't necessarily consider the Two of Wands to be a card of change necessarily, or, a card of expansion, but that's kind of what's popping into my head with the Two of Wands. He is kind of expanding because the Two of Wands is a card of taking the lead, getting out of a comfort zone. He has the whole world in his hands there, and so he needs to get out into the world, or he needs to discover a new world where he can build a new castle. So a lot of you could be building, a new kingdom for yourself with the Two of Wands, and I kind of get that feeling for you here. I also get something about listening. That's not exactly a clear message that's popping into my head, but there's something about listening. I feel like it's saying like who you are listening to. I would be careful of who you are listening to at this time. Next, your crossing energy is the Magician. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. I feel like the Magician crossing is saying that you need to make sure that anything that you're working on, or anything that you are trying to accomplish, you need to make sure you are using the right tool for the job. The Magician has all these tools in front of him. Those are all the ace versions of the suits in the tarot. And, again, as a crossing energy, it could just say like, maybe you're being logical about a situation, but maybe you need to be more creative. Or maybe you need to take a more emotional approach with the Ace of Cups. Or maybe you need to take a more practical approach with the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel for a lot of you, anything that you're trying to manifest in your life, that your approach might need to change. And, it's also interesting that he is pointing to the Lovers. So if you want love, this could represent a new approach or approaching the situation from a different angle, or using a new approach. Magician is also about reinvention. If you are changing, then you are reinventing yourself. So this could also just say that if you don't have something that you want, and it doesn't matter what it is, whatever you're trying to manifest, it could be because you're kind of like undergoing this transition period or this change period where you are changing who you are. And again, sometimes they say that, and people, I think take it as like, oh, you're not good enough as you are. But that's not what we're saying. What we're saying here is that you could be highlighting parts of yourself that have been kept hidden, and you could be kind of like amplifying certain traits. And this could be good because, it could attract new love, it could change your life in business or career. It's like maybe you're working on your confidence or something else, and that's definitely popping into my head with the Magician. In the area of what's on your mind, or the area of your thoughts, you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is you, so this would be you showing up in a very strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength, and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So you are just thinking about your heart, really. The Queen of Cups, she values her heart and what her heart is telling her to do. So I feel for a lot of you that listening, more to the direction that your heart is pulling you in is going to be very important with the Queen of Cups. Interestingly enough, we also have the Queen of Wands in your foundation, so it's kind of like the heart is in your head. So it's like head over heart energy here. But I feel like you need to, it's almost like this reading is saying you need to be more following your heart, not your head. And I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't, really I think life is better if we mix the two things together, if we pay attention to, all energies. I think it's, two heads are better than one, right? So heart and head. But, I do feel there's a little bit of this head-heart, head-over-heart energy here, but it seems like a good thing, not a bad thing. The Queen of Wands, she also kind of follows her heart. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun, so it points towards her desire. And I feel for you to be successful at this time, like paying attention to your passions, paying attention to what you desire to have in your life, and taking the right steps to get those desires is going to be important. I also feel, with the two cards together here, the Magician and the Queen of Wands, that kind of like developing good habits, or, paying attention to the habits that you do have and making sure that the steps you're taking are matching what you want is going to be important. Next, in the area of your past, this is the energy you're moving past. You have this No Place Like Home card and the Soulmates card. So, for a lot of you, you could be leaving comfort zones with that Two of Wands. And this does not have to be in love, if you don't want it. I do feel like there is love here, but, I feel as far as love is concerned, I feel you need to be seen. I feel like I say this to you every single reading now, Cancer, which is cracking me up. But, I feel like I'm always saying to you that you have to get attention, like people have to be able to see you with their eyeballs, right? People have to know that you exist. And, the good news is that this is coming up in the past, so it could be an energy that you are releasing or moving past. Maybe you are, kind of like stepping, becoming known or getting more attention. The Hermit has been through a dark night of the soul, and he is shining his inner light here, but he needs to, get more attention. He really needs to shine his light bright and he needs to stand out. And I feel that for you, it's kind of like saying, yeah, the Hermit has been through a difficult journey, he's been through a lot of challenges, but he also has the opportunity to really get a lot of positive attention here. And that's what I would be doing with that card. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have a Stag spirit that says, you were meant for great things. Trust in all that you have to offer. Yes, you have this orbiting space card. It says something or someone is orbiting you, wanting to make its presence known. Pretty sure you've had this card with me before, Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So if you do want love, we have the Lovers in the same position as well. So there could be a person who's trying to, stand out to you, or, it could be vice versa. Take it how it resonates. But, two very good cards here. Again, we have the Lovers. So the Lovers in the very near future could represent love coming into your life. And this could be someone who is trying to get your attention, or maybe you're trying to get their attention. If you don't want love, and even if you do, I also feel that this could be something that you are trying to create. Because we have the Lovers, we go down to the Ace of Wands, which I'll show you in a minute. The Ace of Wands is very creative. Now, the Ace of Wands absolutely can be love as well. It can be a very passionate connection. But there's one thing in this reading that changes this, which is the Ace of Pentacles as your outcome. The Ace of Pentacles could be any opportunity that you want to invest in. With the Ace of Pentacles, we have to nurture the Ace of Pentacles into existence. We get the offer, but we have to water it, feed it, fertilize it, give it sunlight. It's like a garden, the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel for a lot of you that this could be a perfect match with any opportunity, whatever it is that you desire. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this Peace and Serenity card and this Control and Change card. I do feel there is a change coming in for you. I would be focusing on your own inner peace. I would also focus on being peaceful. I feel, the more at peace you can be, the better with these two cards. You have the Ace of Wands in the area of the next few months, so a very creative, fiery next few months is what it looks like to me. I would really be embracing your creative side, which is I definitely think this is true for all water signs. We have the North Node in Pisces, Venus in Pisces. We also have Pluto in Aquarius. And I think people forget that it's Pluto in Aquarius is the collective innovation, but you have to be creative to be innovative. So, I think everybody should be embracing their creative side or coming up with creative solutions. The whole entire reading is also encouraging you to move towards desire. The Ace of Wands sometimes can't be explained, Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. So there's clearly a new beginning coming in for you. But the Ace of Wands, sometimes we just have the desire to do something, but we can't really back it up with, facts, or we can't back it up with proof. So we can, have a business idea, or we can have a relationship that we want to get into, and it's like maybe there's no real proof that whatever it is going to work well for us. But if we put the work in and grow it, then there will be proof that it's going to work. You have the Page of Pentacles in the area of your closest relationships. The Page of Pentacles could be a new person. So, this area of the reading doesn't just represent love. It represents all connections that are coming in for you. So there definitely could be new love coming in for you. Could be any sign, but Earth definitely stands out to me. I mean, you have Capricorn right here, which is your opposite sign, so it definitely could be an earth sign. Could be any sign, like I said, general reading. The Page of Pentacles is also a card of studiousness and learning. I feel that you have learned a lot about other people over the past many years, and I would be implementing what you learned. Again, I've been trying to say this to people for a long time. It's like since a long stretch of years ago, it's like imagine if you've been in college for all that time. That's how life has been. We've all been learning a ton of lessons, right? And it's like now I feel that this year we have graduated, and it's time for us to put those lessons into practice. And that's what the Page of Pentacles is really encouraging. It's like saying you've learned a lot about people and now you need to live that. Live what you have learned, and not just with people but, pretty much every area of your life. And that's going to lead to the, biggest benefits. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Devil card. It's a really good reading. So again, it's kind of weird to have the Devil. This would say that you could be feeling a little bit stuck. The Devil says that you are actually not stuck. The whole point of the Devil is that those chains kind of hang down to here on their necks. They could easily lift those chains from around their necks and be set free. I would take advantage of the next few months. There are some things going on that I feel could be making it hard to work or hard to want to get motivated. There's an energy around you right now that could be slowing motivation, and even as it starts moving forward again soon, it can still feel like you're in a transition phase for a while. And, I think that the trick here for you, Cancer, is going to be balance. It's not about forcing yourself to do things. But what it's about is, on those days where you don't want to do something, just tell yourself, I'm going to do one thing. I'm just going to do one small little thing today and that's it. Right? And I think that will make the difference. When you don't want to do something but you kind of do one little thing anyway, that's probably going to get you out of this energy. I would, of course, also be very careful of energy vampires. Anything that's stealing, it doesn't even have to be a person, right? It could be anything that is trying to take your energy. I would make sure that you avoid things that steal your energy with the Devil showing up here. It's kind of like, there are days I rarely ever have these days, but there are days where I don't want to do readings. On those days, I just tell myself, just do one. Right? And usually one leads to four. So like I said, it's one of those things where if we can just get started, sometimes just getting started gets us motivated, and then we complete whatever we're trying to complete. You have the Ace of Pentacles again. There's clearly some sort of big opportunity coming in for you. I feel like this is something you're really going to want to nurture and take care of, which is great for Cancer. I think, Cancer, of course, is the nurturing sign. So I feel that there could be some opportunity coming in for you that you're really going to want to take care of, and it looks like a good thing to me. Could be anything, really. But let's clarify through here and let's see. With the Two of Wands and the Magician, you have the Ten of Cups. I feel, again, peace is a word that I'm kind of getting here. We have this card here that said peace and serenity on it. The Ten of Cups could be love, but the Ten of Cups is really kind of a card of happiness. These people are standing in the real world. They are focusing on these 10 cups and they're kind of like dancing or having a good time. And so they are choosing peace over everything else or happiness. And I feel that would be a good exercise for you, Cancer. It's like, how can you, no matter what's going on around you, how can you protect your space, right? With the Queen of Cups, you have the High Priestess coming up in the area of your thoughts, or what's on your mind. Definitely needing to trust your intuition here. Both cards are extremely intuitive. And so, if you're asking for messages, I feel like I've said this to you before. I'm having major déjà vu as I say this here, Cancer. But, I feel like I've said to you before that, if you're asking for a sign and you are getting signs like maybe you see a repeating number or, everybody has their own thing, right? So whatever it is, it's like I feel like the universe is giving you signs here, but you might be asking again. And I feel like the thing with the universe is we can't keep asking. If we ask for a sign and you see 11:11 on the clock, then that's your sign, right? So I think this is saying you need to pay attention to the signs. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. I kind of cheated because I said earlier in your reading that your problem is maybe going to be other people. I feel like there are people. I don't think this is bad, I just think that there are people. I feel Cancer has people in their life that say, Cancer is this person right here. But it's like you are this person over here, And I feel the challenge for Cancer is to stop trying to please these people and please yourself over here. You need to live your truth. And I feel that's the challenge for you because we have the Queen of Wands. She just moves towards her desire. She doesn't care what other people think. With the Hermit, you have the Ace of Cups. I knew the Ace of Cups was going to come up here. Now we have 3 aces, which is really good. You know, multiple aces like this is a definite new beginning, and also would represent a positive new beginning coming in for you. So, you know, it looks to me like there's a positive new beginning coming in for you. With the Lovers, you have the 9 of Swords. Fear could be getting in the way of love. So, for those of you that do want love, the 9 of Swords, this could be a little bit of stinking thinking here. You could be thinking to yourself, well, you know, if I end up with this person, it's just going to end like the last one. It's just going to repeat over and over and over again. The trick with the 9 of Swords is that he has this blanket on his lap, and it represents a comfort blanket. Now, it's kind of hard to see on the small one, but in the blue squares there are astrological symbols in every one of these blue squares that's on his lap. And so the blanket, those astrological symbols, remind him, or they're meant to remind him of all like the astrology that he has lived through, or all the things that he's been through. So it gives him comfort, because it says like, hey, you're worrying about something that you have already learned a lot about. So I feel that you need to, we literally said this with the Page of Pentacles, right? That I feel like you need to kind of realize that you have learned a lot of lessons, and so you're not going to necessarily repeat the same mistakes. With the Ace of Wands, you have the King of Wands. Yep, we're right here. Very passionate connection. King and Queen of Wands. So if you want love, there, you know, over the next little while, you could be developing a very, you know, fiery connection with a person. Or you could be getting into something with a person where it is very, you know, kind of fiery or passionate. This could also, again, this could just be you using both energies to work on something that you are passionate about. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, I feel there's definitely something new coming in for you. You know, if you want love, the 6 of Cups, you know, a lot of people read it as the past. I don't. It doesn't represent that, you know. It's a card of innocence and nostalgia. Like, sure, it could represent thinking about the past, but, you know, it doesn't necessarily represent going back to the past. It really can represent a soulmate coming in for you. So again, there could be a new soulmate. The other thing is that we have the Coffin right here in the Lenormand. Pretty much every single Lenormand deck, the Coffin is always closed on the Coffin card, and it represents our old life, basically, in the Lenormand. With the Coffin, just like the Judgment card, we have to let go of the past. We have to get out of the coffin and experience something new. With the Devil, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, really, this is about your own thoughts right here, which we kind of said over here and here. So I feel for a lot of you, this could be you conquering the devil in the sense that you are, you know, embracing your own thoughts or tapping into your, taking control of your own thoughts. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the 8 of Swords. I feel like something is not going to be as hard as you think, as well as what I'm getting. Like you might be, I kind of get this feeling that you're, you know, if you want to accomplish something right now, like a goal, wish, or dream, that you're making it too hard on yourself. And you know, if you would just get started, I feel things would probably go very, very well for you. So I would definitely get started with that. That Ace of Pentacles, especially if you're trying to, you know, accomplish something big. You have this dagger. It says fears, worries, tense situation. Again, Mars retrograde in your sign. When Mars is retrograde in your sign, you can feel like people are against you. You can feel like people are talking behind your back, you know, all that stuff. So I would definitely get out of your head with Mars retrograde. You have this pig. It says beware of greed. Yeah, I would be careful of greedy people as well during Mars retrograde. You have this owl. It says good advice from a wise person. I think I said to you in your last reading, people can come from 2 places, love or fear. I feel you really need to focus on those connections. And we're not talking about love. We're talking about every single connection in your life. You need to focus on those people who really come from a place of love. You know, that's going to be the advice that you need to listen to. Again, I think it's very simple in life. People always ask me like, whose advice do I listen to? I'm like, well, there are 2 places people come from. Fear, which is people telling you not to do something, or people telling you how dangerous something is, or people telling you you're wasting your time. Or love, which is like expansive energy, people telling you you've got this, you can do this, you know, good positive things. Those are the people you should listen to. You have this Cup card that says you should accept valid criticism. So now, if one of those, you know, criticism can come off as fear, but again, it might be valid criticism, so I would listen. You have this March card. I always clarify these cards. Then you have this rose card. Says romance is in the air. Clearly, there could be a very fiery, passionate connection coming in for you for sure with the King and Queen of Wands. I feel like this connection scares you a little bit here, Cancer. Like, maybe you feel like a person's out of your league, or maybe you end up, falling for this person too fast or something. But I don't know, it looks really good to me. I think with the Ace of Pentacles, as long as both people are nurturing the connection, it will be fine. But this looks really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your time ahead.